All right, we're looking at increasing and decreasing percentage problems. In this case, we're only looking at increasing. These two problems are involving increasing, but decreasing is pretty much identical. So let's see how this works. So you'll notice that it's very similar to the previous objectives type of problems, especially the application problems you'll see in the second video of the objective, the previous objective. And you'll notice that increasing and decreasing percentage problems always have the following structure. It'll always have the increase slash decrease amount. Put amount down here. It'll have increase, decrease amount, and then is, and then it'll have, you know, some blank percentage of the you can say the original or previous amount, I guess. I'll just put original or previous amount. Yeah, we'll put that down there. Amount. Okay, so we have this following structure. And you'll always have this structure when you're working through an increasing and decreasing problem. And so I wrote this up here just to kind of have a general key when you're working through these. And you could actually derive this form by using the same process we used in the previous objective in pulling information out of the word problem that I explained in the last video of the previous objective. But I'm just telling you this right now just to make this video a little bit shorter. So we'll work through this example, or these two examples, to see how this will work. Okay, so the increase-decrease amount, sometimes it's given to you, sometimes you have to derive the increase or decrease amount. So we have this year she sold 194 or 195 more rose bushes than she did the last year. So that tells you how much it's increased. In this case, it's increased. It's gone up 195 more than the previous year. So there is the increase amount. So 195 more. So that's the increase amount, 195 more. And then is blank percent of the previous amount. So this represents 12% increase over the previous year. So previous year. So 12% is 12% of, and so previous year is our unknown in this case. So similar to what we did in the previous objective, we call the unknown x. So 195 is 12% of x. So so there we go. Let's go ahead and translate this into an equation like we did in the previous objective. 195 is 12, and then the percent we multiply by 0.01 of, and then we just have x. I guess more realistically we would say what? 195 is 12% of what? Just to kind of line up what we had up in the previous objective. Okay, so 195 equals 12 times 0.01 times x. So we're going to solve for this. So 195 equals, and this would become 0.12 times x. And then we want to divide by 0.12. So x equals 0.12, divide by 0.12. 195 divided by 0.12. So x is equal to 1625. and that's dollars since we're talking about money here. So how many rose bushes did Peggy's nursery sell last year? Remember, original or previous amount, so that would be last year. So we've solved for that, which is $1,625. All right, let's look at the next problem. Jim Dukes manages internet sales for a company that started selling its product over the internet 2 years ago. Last year, company sales over the internet were only about $500,000. So last year, keyword there, last year. So that is the original or previous amount. So I guess we could label this, or if you want, we could just write 500,000 over on this side. And then okay, so this year sales were $1,625,000, and so as I mentioned before, we may be given the amount it increased or decreased in the problem, or sometimes we have to actually calculate it. So the amount we increase or decrease, the amount that is increased or decreased, in this case increased, previous year's 500,000, this year's this amount, we have to subtract 500,000 from 1,625,000. So the increase-decrease amount, is, I'll just write increase, is 1,625,000 subtract 500,000. That equals $1,125,000. So that is the amount it increased. So we're going to put that on the far left here. So it's $1,125,000. And then we have is, so calculate the company's percent increase. So we want to find the percent increase. So we would say is what percent of $500,000. So I just filled it in the blanks. I found the increased amount, put it right here. Is what the the blank percent, what percent, that's what we're solving for, of, and then the original previous amount. We put that in there. Okay, so we filled in the blanks, and now we can find the how much the company's percent increased in internet sales this year. So as we can see, that's a huge increase compared to the previous year. So this percentage is going to be huge. So we have 1,125,000 is what percent of 500,000. Okay, we can solve this, and this would give us 1,125,000 equals 0.01 times 500,000 is 5,000. And then we can solve for x by taking 1,125,000 and dividing that by 5,000. So that gives us the value 1,125,000 divided by 5,000 is 225. So as you can see, that is the what. So 225 is the percentage, the what percent. So calculate the company's percent increase in internet sales this year. So it's increased 225% from the previous year. So there we go. All right, so hopefully this makes sense. You just fill in the blanks, and you're good. So that's all we need to do. Let me know if you have any concerns. I'll be more than happy to help.